Now, to tell us what's on the politics desk diary for the week ahead, we're joined by SABC News Political Reporter Natasha Phiri, who's still coming to us live from Fourways. Natasha, you're still in Fourways, but of course, you're not just focused on the ANC Lekgotla taking place there, the provincial Lekgotla. You're also keeping your eyes across the span of the week. What's on your diary? What are you taking a look at?
Well, thank you so much, Oliver. Well, it's all hands on deck from our politics team. Starting off there with the Madlanga Commission. Of course, we saw what actually happened this past week. EMPD corruption, Ekruleni corruption coming under the spotlight. Of course, we saw testimony there from the IPID investigator and the assistant director. We do expect witness F to take the stand sometime this week. In terms of the ad hoc committee, we also saw Paul O'Sullivan giving his testimony there in Parliament. And Oliver, we all know, we saw that moment where he threatened to actually withdraw, from the commission or from the committee, I beg your pardon, in Parliament if he wasn't allowed or afforded an opportunity to tell his side of the story. We move on to the TRC cases, and Nhlanhla and Mbusi are also on it. And of course, this past week, we saw the Human Settlements Minister, Thembisi Melani, testifying and basically telling the TRC inquiry that her and her family, unfortunately, have lost all faith in the justice system. We also saw Lukhanya Qalata, who's the son of one of the Craig.4, of course, which was murdered, unfortunately, saying that the former presidents Thabo Mbeki and Jacob Zuma must be summoned to testify at the TRC inquiry. Of course, you know that those two former presidents have launched legal challenge seeking the recusal of the commission chair, retired Justice Sisi Kampempe. Of course, Oliver, I hope you've been seeing that as a politics desk, we've been doing various interviews with various political party leaders about a number of issues, national issues, but of course, most importantly, issues of local government. As you know, that it is an election year. So far, according to the IEC, over 100,000 candidates are actually vying for those 10,000 seats across all municipalities. 2 weeks ago, we covered the EFF's plenum, their plans to cover the local government elections, their approaches to the coalition or to the arrangements with various political parties in the metros. We're here now at the ANC. A week ago, I spoke to the Patriotic Alliance Deputy President, Mr. Kenny Kunene, saying that he's putting his hat in the ring to vie as the city of Johannesburg's mayoral candidate. I do understand that Mr. Herman Mashaba will be, if not this week, next week, unveiling Action SA's mayoral candidate in the city of Johannesburg. So we've got our hands full as a politics guest, of course, covering many of those issues. But let me just also focus on today and throw it forward to tomorrow, because the ANC Lekgotla, the ANC PTT Lekgotla will be closing off tomorrow. And of course, I'm joined by the spokesperson of the PTT, Mr. Mzi Khumalo, just to figure out where we are at this moment, what other pertinent issues they've been discussing. Mr. Khumalo, thank you so much for joining us on SABC News. Perhaps first and foremost, how far are we in terms of the discussions with today?
Thank you very much to yourself, and thank you very much to the viewers at home. I think where we are, we've started by, it's a 2 days Lekgotla. Its main objective is to ensure that we assess the kind of work that we've been doing as the PTT, and also to chart the way forward. But the way forward is also linked, for the benefit of the people of Gauteng, is also linked to the state of the province address. In other words, we'll be saying to our deployees who are in government, these are the kind of things that we think that should constitute a way forward insofar as Gauteng is concerned. And those, you'll find them largely being integrated within the different commissions that we are having. So thus far, we've received the political overview. We've received the governance progress report from the co-convener, Comrade Panyaza Lesupi, who's also the premier of the province. And as I'm talking to you now, the delegates inside there are engaging on the basis of that particular report. But that report is crucial because it is going to inform the discussions that will be taking place in the commissions insofar as the service delivery is concerned, whether it's questions of electricity, pothole, water, as we are facing it as the main challenge, as it is coalition government, and any other thing will be informed by that particular report. Tomorrow we will be having resolutions, specific resolutions on specific matters that would have been identified, and therefore charting the way forward.
Mr. Kumalo, you were at some point the MEC of Cooperative Governance and Traditional Affairs. You know how the municipalities have been faring and have been performing. Of course, government, local government in Gauteng has also introduced a local government barometer, the ANC as well. And I mean, for time, since last year, I've been asking, please give me the report on various municipalities, how specifically ANC-led municipalities or in a coalition agreement are actually performing. I haven't got that, unfortunately, but perhaps you can give us insight. But I mean, people are angry, saying that we don't have water in our taps. There are potholes. I mean, just outside my complex, I know there are a couple of potholes there. Issues of water, of sanitation. People are saying that what needs to be done, but time and time again, we always hear we will deal with issues. Is there really a political will to actually deal with these issues? And why is it taking so long for basic things to actually be done?
The first thing that I want to address is that a municipality in a particular area exists because it has to provide services to its people. What do I mean? You pay for your services, the return investment from yourself, from the municipality to yourself, it's in a form of services. So the day-to-day work of municipality should be to provide services to our people. So there shouldn't be anything like, no. On day-to-day basis, the fact that you've got different units and departments in a particular municipality that provide that services, they must do their work. I think the most important thing that we must emphasize is, are people doing their work timeously to the relevant people that should be provided to, because they are paying for that particular service. For me, that's the key thing that we want to emphasize. So this Lekgotla here will not be receiving anything like I will. We want to receive anything that we are doing this.
And if your deployees are not doing this, will we get a commitment that they must be booted out?
The commitment that we're making, and it's how the ANC is performance. We'll have to assess and assess the performance of all our deployees, be it councillors, be it the MPs, be it the MPLs, and be able to say, on the basis of this assessment, the following should be done. Because we've got to be scientific also. We can't just take a decision willy-nilly, putting out people and we think that we're resolving. Because you're creating an impression in the people's mind that by booting this particular person, service delivery will be better, only to find that you have not dealt with the real issues, which is service delivery, and nothing changes, and therefore you're finding yourself in the same problem. What we emphasize here, in the form of commissions, the questions that are going to be asked in the form of commissions is not will be. It's what has been done, what are the challenges, what is the way forward as such.
So in the context of what you're explaining right now, to me and to the viewers, what must happen in the case of Mfuleni? Should Sipora Debe leave as the mayor of a group? I mean, Mfuleni, the regional office bearers had said, listen, you didn't manage to turn around the woes of the city on time. Is he capable to actually lead Mfuleni?
Well, that's not the question. And that should not be the question, because the ANC has deployed its cadres a long time ago. We recall that at the beginning of this term of local government, we were only left with 7 to so months before the end of the term. And if there was any such question that should have been answered at that particular time, whether we got a capable comrade who can be able to take the municipality forward, no, that should not be the question. The issue of Mfuleni is a totally different issue, which I want to allow the political process that is taking place to resolve that particular issue. The discussion is between, as the secretary or the provincial coordinator said before, the discussion is between the ROB and the POB, and I think we should leave it at that. I don't usually comment on leakages. The mayor raised these letters, and somebody no, we don't do it like that.
But apart from leakages, remember, community members are the ones that are feeling the brunt at the end of the day. Community members are the ones that don't get services.
Yeah, but you cannot get services by removing a person. That's the point I'm making. Deployment is something else. Providing services to our people. I think we should be genuine and be honest to our people. We should not promise them something that is not there, that if we do remove this person, this is what you're going to get. No. We've got to deal with the problems of Mfuleni in a manner that we're dealing with all the challenges that are facing our municipality insofar as service delivery is concerned. For instance, in Mfuleni, one of the major problems that we faced up with was the issue of sewage, water, and potholes. There's a program that is dealing with the issues of potholes from the Department of Transport, and there's SPVU that has been put in place in respective of water.
Mr. Kumela, I'd like to have more of this conversation, but unfortunately we have to wrap. We do have more guests in the next hour, and this as I toss back to you in studio, Oliver.
Thank you so much for that. Really do appreciate it. Natasha Phiri coming to us live there from the Fourways, where the ANC has their provincial Lekgotla taking place. Of course, she was telling us what's on the diary of the politics desk for the week ahead, and of course, having a conversation there with Mzi Khumalo of the ANC.